Hey everybody, welcome once again to Cooking with Charles. I'm your host, Charles. So tonight we're going to make a very simple dish, but a very, very tasty dish. Chicken stuffed with scallops. So do yourself a favor, grab yourself a glass of wine, then come back and, well, if it's cold where you are in the country tonight, cuddle up next to the fire that burns within my heart for you, my viewers. Come on back. Cooking with Charles is made possible by the generous donations of Sully's Superette, the Goffstown Network. If you need a helping hand, they're there to lend that helping hand. If you can lend a helping hand, they can use your help. Welcome back, everybody. I'm just getting a little edge of my knife here because I'm going to be cutting some chicken. As I mentioned in the intro, it's cold. We are in the second Arctic vortex this winter, and here in New Hampshire, it's frigid. So I'm warming myself up with a glass of Gallo Chardonnay. In case you haven't noticed, we drink a lot of Gallo here. They may be our sponsors or something. Don't quite know. But right now, let's go to our chicken. We got boneless breast of chicken right here. And, well, that's going to be the main ingredient tonight. So, you know what? Why don't we put up the goods of what you'll need to cook this? Because there's a whole lot of stuff. As I mentioned, boneless breast of chicken. You also need some scallops, some stuffing, cheese of your choice, cream or half and half, pesto, and a pasta of your choice. All right, let's get going with the chicken, the first ingredient. We got boneless breast. What we're going to do is pick that piece right here. We're going to butterfly this out. So let's get that out of the way so you can see what we're going to do. We're going to take this. I've already cut the tenderloin off and I trimmed it off all the little fat. We're just going to put that right there. Let me get my cloth here, wipe my hands a little bit. And we are going to cut this right down the middle because we're going to butterfly this. See that? We got a nice little slit right here. Okay? Going to take our knife and we're just going to open it up. Can make that center slit a little deeper. Oh, this is going to be good. Now, if you notice, I'm laying my knife flat as I'm doing it. And I'm taking usually these nice long, there we go, look at that. This is nice and open, okay? So now, I'm going to put this back in our bag. And we're going to take our meat tenderizer. Now, if you don't have one of these, right here, a pounder tenderizer, you can use the flat end of a pan, but I have this, it makes life a lot easier. All right, cover your ears, let's make it a little loud. All right. Just going to lightly tap it. Move this to the middle a little bit. And we're going to start in the middle and kind of push out, push out. Boom, see, just like that, push out. And you can rotate this as it works best for you. But you don't want to really hammer away. You want to be gentle. I always like to give mine a little flip. Boom. Now you're saying, why are we pounding our meat? Well, because it makes us feel like men. No, actually, what we're doing is we're making it thinner so that it's easier to work with and it's going to cook a little bit quicker. So I got two pieces here because I'm going to do this two ways for you tonight. This is going to be good. Okay, we put that to the side. Now, right now, too, I also have to let you know, I've got my oven preheating to 350. Okay, I might want to go 375. Okay, now we're going to take our piece of chicken. Look at that. We just probably doubled the size of this, and we did that by moving all the meat out to the sides, and we made it nice and thin. It's about 1/4 of an inch thick now. As I said, that's going to cook a lot quicker. So, how are we going to make this? Well, as I said, we're going to stuff it with scallops. Look what I have here. I have some beautiful, 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 I don't know if you get a close shot on this, but these are beautiful U10, U20 scallops, which means there's about 10 to 20 per pound. I got these from a restaurant food vendor friend of mine. You might want to find one, order them through them because they're much, much cheaper. So they're beautiful, beautiful pieces of fish right here, shellfish. Now, I also mentioned we need stuffing. Well, that's what this is. And guess where I got it from? When you go to the store and you see that they have stuffed clams and stuffed scallops, well, I bought those stuffed scallops with that, about $7. And I took the stuffing out of those scallop shells. I use the scallop shells to bake off some scallops. That's a little party idea for you. And use those to serve them in. But I kept the stuffing for something like this. Now, if you're like me, you'll think there's never enough stuffing in those things and not really worth it to buy it. But what's worth it is it gives you a nice base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this scallop, this big one. I'm just going to cut it into quarters here, because it will make it easier to cook and it will make it cook a little faster. And I'm going to take this stuffing. I'm going to spread that right in there. I'm going to take these pieces of scallops, okay, put those right in there, just like that. Perfect. See, because now you're going to get the flavor of the seafood stuffing with the scallops minced in there. Believe me, there's not a lot of scallops in here compared to what we just put in there. So you're going to get a lot more flavor. Now, if you want, you can always add your own spice to it. I personally add a little bit of basil. And speaking of these spices, this is a Spice Classic brand. Very, very inexpensive. It's a nice spice at the right price. Oh, wait, maybe also another sponsor of the show. All right, got a little more garlic. And you know, I brought some onion powder too. Just gonna sprinkle all that on there. Always love a little pepper. I'll put some salt on later. Now, here comes the fun part. I want to fold up the edges right like this. Let me get everything out of the way so you can see it, folks. Okay, fold up those edges. And then you're just going to cup it under, roll it. Voila, that is a stuffed chicken breast. Now all we have to do is get it into the oven. So here we go. Got my pan lined with foil here, makes it easier. I don't use a pan release like a PAM or something because that has a lot of chemicals in it. So I use Mr. Misto. All that is a self-pressurizing oil sprayer. As I did this, I got some olive oil in here. Actually, I have a blend of canola oil and olive oil. Olive oil can be expensive, canola oil is inexpensive, but you mix the two, you get the best of both worlds. And all we're going to do is just put that right there. Now, I mentioned cheese. I have some cheese right here. I have a blend of some pizza cheeses I had in my oven. I mean, my freezer that I had left over. So I grabbed some of those. I mean, there's some mild cheddar, some sharp cheddar, and some mozzarella. So into the oven we go right here. And well, that's going to be about a half hour. So what else are we going to do? Well, we're going to make some other food for you folks. Okay, we're going to get our pans hot here. Let's get these bad boys on. All right. Because as I said, we're gonna make a special chicken, second chicken tonight. And then we're gonna make some pasta, which is a pasta of your choice. I think I have rotini. Yep, I have rotini tonight. Gonna make a pesto cream sauce, but let's get the chicken going first, and we'll just go from there. All right, as you can see, This piece of chicken's also flat. That's the second one that we pounded out. What are we going to do with this? Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to just going to cut this into quarters. And you'll see why after it's done cooking. It's more of a presentation. And it'll also help with the cooking as well, but mainly for presentation. All right, let me get a little plate here, because we're going to flour these very, very lightly. Okay, put the oil in this pan so we know when it's ready. Okay, perfect. All right, so it's getting where we need to be. So let's get another plate out here, folks. Perfect. All we're going to do, as I said, we're going to lightly dredge this. I'll put that aside. Put that right there. And what the flour is going to do is that's just going to make it cook and crisp up, give it like a little nutty flavor, so to speak. Perfect. No longer need that. Get a little white going here. All right. You know what? Let me see how well that is heating up. Hear that sizzle? Look at that. A little bit of water, pops, you know it's ready. All right. Chicken number one. Chicken number two. Perfect. Gonna let those sit for a minute. Now we have all these other scallops left. So we're going to do what we did before. We're just gonna cut them up. Into quarters. I like these nice big scallops because even when you cut them up, they're still really meaty. And some people like to take this little muscle off, which holds the actual meat to the shell. I leave it right in. I've never noticed it's tough or anything else. I think it's more of a visual thing for a lot of people, so, but I choose to leave mine in there. Give these a nice turn. All right. Those are sizzling up nicely. Now here I'm going to add some more basil to that. Pretty much everything I did before. Perfect. Scallops smelling wonderful now, folks. Oh. They don't take long to cook at all, thankfully. It's a nice quick meal. But I'm gonna add a little bit of white wine. And you know, I'm gonna add a little white wine to my glass too. Why the heck not? All right, while we're waiting for all this to happen, folks, let's take a little break. Hear from our benefactors, and we'll be right back. We'll see you soon. Hi, I'm Charles Minnick, host of GTV's smash hit, Cooking with Charles. I've teamed up with the Goffstown Network to tell you about their outreach and food pantry programs. The mission of the Goffstown Network is to provide for the hunger-related needs of our neighbors in Goffstown and their surrounding communities. Founded with the governing principles that no person should go hungry and every person deserves our care. The Goffstown Network serves the area by providing food and other services on an emergency short-term basis. This spirit of community and mutual caring is extended to anyone in Goffstown, Dunbarton, and New Boston. Normal hours of operation are Wednesday evenings, 6 to 8 p.m., and Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. to noon. Now, you can also assist them through donations of time, food, or money. Like the help they give, the help they receive is also greatly appreciated. You can reach them by calling the number on your screen or by stopping by the Parish House of St. Matthew's Church. It's located in downtown Goffstown at 7 North Mass Street, right across from Sully's. Welcome back, everybody. Let's get going, because I'm hungry. Okay, so we have everything cooking very, very nicely over here. Gonna give these a little flip. All right, we are on the tail end of this culinary extravaganza. So while we're waiting for this to finish up, why don't we talk about how you can watch me 24/7. That's right, folks. I actually have a YouTube channel. I do. It's called Cooking with Charles M, and it's all one word, and that's on YouTube. You can also email me. If you ever want to tell me you love me, you hate me, you want me to cook something like Ed Valet did, by all means get in touch with me. It's cookingwithcharles@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you, good, bad, indifferent. I love getting emails. All right, back to cooking. All right, this stuff right here is done. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna take this chicken, I'm gonna put it in here because we're gonna use this pan now for the pasta. Let me just give one quick look though in here. Make sure we're done. Oh, perfect. Nice and juicy. Okay, I mentioned pasta, I mentioned pesto. First thing we're gonna do, got a little half and half. You can use heavy cream if you want. I use half and half because it's just less fattening. Gonna take a couple of cups of that. You don't need that much, folks. I just don't feel like bringing this carton home with me. So, gonna bring that to temp. Now, here is where we can separate the men from the boys, girls from the women. This right here, pesto. You saw that on the shot when we came back to this segment. This is pre-made pesto. You can make your own, but why bother? I make my own sometimes and I save it, but this is a Classico brand. It's great to keep in your refrigerator. If you don't use it fast enough, throw it in your freezer. It's very easy because it's made with so much oil to scoop out because it doesn't quite freeze all the way. The oil keeps it very, very loose, so to speak, but still frozen. You can scoop it out as you need it. Give this a little shake because it's separated, but it's pesto, guys. This is going to give you flavor to any dish, okay? See how simple this is. So we have cream, a little bit of oil in here from the chicken. We could have used butter if we wanted to or something from scratch, but we have all the drippings and the chicken and everything else in there, so we don't need any more fats or oils from the butter. And all we're doing is just adding pesto. That is it. Voila, we're done. Look at that. That tastes so good. And it's so easy if you have that on hand to add that to things, and you look like you're a world-class chef. I'm just a guy from Goffstown, New Hampshire. I'm not world-class at anything except looking good. All right. This we're going to turn off because it is done. You guys got a bonus here tonight. You got the chicken, boneless breast stuffed with scallops, and you got the sauté version. Okay, I mentioned cheese of your choice. Here it is, folks. All we're going to do is add it to the top of the chicken that we have cooking to give that little je ne sais quoi. If you wanted to, you could have added that to the stuffing, but I'm going to put it on top. And I'm just going to reach in here, and oh, this is looking good. And we're just going to let that melt for just a few minutes, and we're going to have heaven. Heaven on a plate. Okay. Oh, this. Now, folks, I'm going to plate these up right now because we'll eat those later. This is why I said cut it into fourths, because that one breast of chicken is actually 2 servings. You could actually get away with 4 servings because what we're doing, using these nice little plates. And I must give a shout out to the plates. We have another great cooking show on GTV called Culinary Classics. Another couple of guys that like to cook. I strongly suggest you check it out. Last week they made a delicious looking blueberry pie, and they could not have made it look easier than they did. So good job, guys. Very nice job, and welcome to the station. And hey, thanks for these 2 little scallop looking plates, because if you can't see it at home, they got little ridges on the side. It's called scalloping. There we go. So kind of is appropriate for chicken with scallops. All right, we're just going to pour the sauce over that. Oh, that is delicious. Oh, look at this. We got some boiling action going on over here. We will give that a quick stir. And turn it down just a tad. All right, let's move those to the side because, well, we got the show coming up now. Where are my silicone pot holders? Thank you, Aunt Claire. May you rest in peace. These were from her house. All right. Oh, guys. Oh. Apart from me, first thing in the morning, there is nothing more beautiful than this. Oh. This looks great, guys. Gonna let that sit for a moment because now we actually have to add our pasta to our very simple cream sauce. Now, I boiled this pasta up ahead of time so that I had it. I actually boiled it a day or 2 ago. Get that all nice and mixed. Yeah, I let it boil a little too much. Reduce it a little much for the amount of pasta that I have, but oh well, you know, it's cooking. We live, we learn. This is where if I was home, I would actually add some milk to it. But let's just get this going. A nice little mix here. Oh, that still looks great. Uh-oh. Little soldier fell out. Oh, poor little rotini. Oh, nice flavor to this. As I said, I let the cream reduce a little too much. But oh well. We live, we learn, we go on. All right, now let's take this bad boy. Whew, it's not a bad boy at all. Oh, guys. This looks absolutely delicious. And I think what I'm going to do, perfect right there, and let me just get some of this on there. Yum. Oh, can we get a tight shot of this? Look at that, huh? Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a beautiful shot, guys. Love these new cameras we have down here. But see, that is why you want to use whole scallops right there, because that's a scallop in the middle of the chicken, and that makes the plate. That is the showpiece. Oh, now let's see how it tastes. I got my fork, and I've got my knife. Oh, I'm going to try this piece right here that's still on my cutting board. Ooh, if you love seafood, you're going to love this. Wow. Perfect. Now let's try this. I love scallops. I love chicken. You cannot go wrong with these dishes. If you cook this with somebody you love, they will love you right back. Oh, that chicken is perfectly done. And the pasta. Oh, nice flavor. Needs a little bit of salt because I didn't add anything I cooked. Folks, once again, you have had a very enjoyable half an hour with me, because I know you have, because it was an enjoyable half an hour for me to spend with you. So until next week, be happy and cook for those you love. And remember, when you're cooking with Charles, you're cooking with good looking. We'll see you next week.